Good morning, everyone. It's Alicia from Providence Farmstead. I have a lot to do today. It's another cloudy autumn day. Tomorrow it's supposed to start raining a whole lot for the next couple of days and then really cool down. So there's a lot around here that needs to be done. We really need to get the low tunnels up today. I don't know if it'll get done or not. Matt has the boys out squirrel hunting right now, and I have a whole bunch of things to do in the garden, and he's got to split some wood today. So we'll see what gets accomplished. Look at how well my ranunculus have sprouted. I need to get these guys in the ground. The anemones, the white ones are doing really well. The blue ones are just starting to sprout, so I need to get them in the ground. I also have some seeds here. I'm going to try to find somewhere to squeeze in the garden. And I've got my juice. Yummy, yummy. So I bought a juicer, and today's the first day I'm having juice, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm hoping it does a lot of things for my health. I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism this year, and my nurse practitioner actually called me yesterday stressing about how bad of anemia I have, and basically she said that I was borderline needing a blood transfusion, and I have been having heart palpitations occasionally for about a year now, and she said that's probably why. So I'm hoping that the juicing will help my health a little bit. It definitely can't hurt at all. It's all good stuff. I've got kale, which is high in iron and vitamin C. You need vitamin C to absorb iron. And celery, carrots, apples, and a little bit of ginger in there. So lots of good things going in my body without the fiber to get in the way of my body's absorption. So hopefully it's a good thing. Jess at Roots and Refuge recently has put out a video about juicing, so if you're interested, check her video out. She has some pretty interesting information on there. It's definitely damp out here today. I thought it was supposed to be sunny today, but I guess not. It's okay. Check the wood burner real quick before we get on to doing all the other things. Looks like I need to push in the wood a little bit. Usually Matt does this when he's home, but right now he's out with the boys. So honestly, we cut down half of a tree in the backyard, which we're working on the video for that. We haven't finished it yet. So this is all just sticks from the backyard. Nice to know you can heat your house and your hot water with sticks. So what I'm thinking here, for one thing, is that the tunnel needs to go up, and I'd like to put 2 up. The other thing I need to maybe start thinking a little harder about is pulling out the peppers. I have just kind of been letting them hang on, and I've been snacking on them. There's some that look pretty rough, but I've been snacking on them. They've been pretty tasty. I've been trying to let some of the corbachi go to seed because they are so cool looking and quite sweet. They're a good pepper. Honestly, though, I think one of my favorite peppers this year has been this lipstick pepper that I got for free from Baker Creek. It's real sweet, crisp, juicy. I really like it. And the other one I like is this, it's called D. Napoli or something like that, also from Baker Creek. And it's also a very good pepper. Yummy. Also high in vitamin C. I actually have never planted strawberries before, but somebody messaged me on my strawberry video that you shouldn't plant the crowns. So I'm going to pull a little bit of dirt away from my strawberry plants today, also on my list of things to do. And it kind of looks to me like something dug one of my strawberries out. Interesting. So a couple of days ago, I was tagged in a collaboration with Unpolished Gardens. Kim reached out and asked me if I would be interested in collaborating with them and some other channels on 3 things I learned from my garden this year. And I know I learned more than 3 things, so absolutely. So the first thing I learned from my garden this year, I like trellising. So I've always trellised my tomatoes on cattle panels, and that's done really well for me. But learning to trellis my cucumbers and my smaller melons and even pole beans, because I never grew pole beans before, has been a lifesaver, guys. So I am so excited to trellis and be able to grow more in the plot that we have here. Most of you know that I'm starting a CSA next year, and I know I'll have to expand a little bit on my garden space, but if I intensively plant everything and utilize things like trellises, I'll be able to get a lot of it still in this space here, which is pretty exciting to me. The other day we put Jerry out with the hens. Hi guys. Yeah. They're ready for breakfast since Gabriel's been out squirrel hunting. He hasn't gotten out here. He takes care of these chickens out here, and he's got to get out here and take care of them still yet today. Hopefully they'll be back soon, otherwise I'm going to take care of them. A couple other things I learned from my garden this year. This is where my bush beans were. Guys, I don't like bush beans. I don't like to harvest them. I don't like bending down. It hurts my back. I send the kids out to harvest them and they miss some. So I will definitely be growing less bush beans or trying to find some way to grow them in a raised bed, because bush beans just aren't working for me anymore. So this past year has been a year of experiments for me. I grew close to 30 varieties of tomatoes in my garden this year, and probably about 12 different varieties of peppers. I was trying to find things that I really liked, so I knew what I wanted to plant in the future. I want to know what is disease resistant, what tastes good, what grows well for my area, and so I grew lots of things. I really think it's better to try to focus on fewer things. But as a person who loves seeds and collects them, that's difficult. It's very difficult. So the third thing I learned from my garden this year is to try to narrow down the types of food that I grow. So instead of growing 12 varieties of peppers, maybe grow 3 sweet peppers and a couple of hot peppers. Because, well, for one thing, we don't eat hot peppers. And then tomatoes, just trying to figure out what does well. And I've already ordered some seeds that I want to try for next year. So I don't know what'll happen. Hopefully it won't be 30 varieties. Hopefully it'll be closer to, like, I don't know, 10. I definitely have probably 40 varieties of tomato seeds. So we'll see. The beets and carrots are doing quite well. I'm going to try to squeeze a few more in here. I know it's getting a little late, but I have plenty of seeds, so I didn't see anything wrong with it. We have volunteer lettuces all over the place because of the lettuces seeding, going to seed. So there are little bitty tiny bright green patches of lettuce. They are everywhere. Looks like I need to weed the radish again. I'm getting kind of weedy. Everything looks like it could use another weeding. Look at all these little volunteer lettuces. It's too funny. So I want to put a low tunnel here and another low tunnel here. I don't know how these plants are going to do. They're not growing a ton, so I'm a little bit worried about them. We'll see what happens. The tatsoi is doing really good back there. I wish some more of the Swiss chard had come up. Not a whole lot of it came up. But we should be able to harvest a few things from there. We got pak choi growing back there too. I'm going to make stir fry, and that'll be great for the stir fry. I just wish these little guys would do a little bit better. It's definitely going to cool down, so we may not get a whole lot more growth. I may have missed it this year. We shall see. I have faith. These rutabaga are getting pretty big on the leaves. You can see some little tiny rutabaga down there. You know, it could also be parsnips. And see, I didn't write down this row when I first initially planted it. Part of it was parsnips, and part of it was rutabaga, and part of it was turnips, and nothing came up down on that end. So I replanted it. But now I'm wondering if these are rutabaga or parsnips. And you know, these almost look a little different than these. Like there's two different kinds of leaves there. So maybe I got a few of both. Maybe this is the rutabaga and this is parsnip. I don't know. We shall see. Look at this volunteer tomato and these volunteer zinnia. I was wondering if these guys would get a chance to bloom. That's why I didn't pull them, even though they're right in my path. I need to learn next year, because I'm going to be trying to grow for more than just my family next year. I will definitely have to pull more volunteers. I'm not looking forward to that, but it's something else I definitely learned from my garden this year. The zinnia that are growing all over here in the middle are all volunteers from last year. And they have, of course, reseeded again this year. There's already seedlings coming up, as you saw, and even littler ones than that. So, unfortunately, I can't just have them right in the way. That's kind of sad. I pulled a few of the zinnia out. I still have quite a few to pull, both here and in the front. And actually, I'm just taking the whole plant. I just took the whole plants in a gator and I dumped them in the backfield. And I figure Matt will probably run over them with the mower, and the seeds will get dispersed, and hopefully they'll sprout there next year, and I can have a beautiful field of zinnia. There's some more cotton that needs harvested. Looks like, or almost, hasn't opened up all the way. It's working on it. It's kind of damp. So I need to pull the rest of these out and get them taken to the back. I've been waiting because there were still a few, cucumber beetle. I've been waiting because there were still a few pretty flowers, and the bees have been enjoying them. I hope this little oak tree that we pulled out of the garden makes it. I don't know if it's going to or not. Lots of things going on over here with the roses. I see a great big dahlia back there. Might get that in a little while. So we might get some pretty little ones here. I think this is the peace rose. So we'll see. Did you get the chickens taken care of? Yep. Did you do squirrel hunting? Tried to? Were they gone by the time you got there?
Late in the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, it's not afternoon yet. It's still morning.
Is Danny off today?
Saw 3 deer behind
Yeah,
the
I
barn.
think Danny and Colleen are both off today. Did you?
Yeah.
That's good. Glad you saw some deer. Getting some eggs.
Yep, 2 a day now for second day in a row. No, first day in a row. Last time we got 3.
Awesome.